G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland, and this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for Queensland for the weeks and months ahead, issued on the 25th of July 2024. Let's first take a look at the rainfall outlooks, starting with the outlook scenarios, and this is the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. So we're currently in the dry season for Northern Australia, of course. So looking ahead to the 3 months from August to October, we're seeing a 75% chance of up to about 10 millimetres of rain for parts of Western and Northern Queensland, and up to about 25 millimetres for central regions. And this increases up to about 100 mils or so for parts of the southeast and the northeast coast. And if you'd like to drill a little deeper into the forecast for a specific location, this magnifying glass here is a really nice little feature where you can specify it somewhere. So let's say Emerald. If you click this, a small box will appear. You can type Emerald or another location into this box here. And here's one I prepared earlier. This breaks the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring to give you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. And your local climate mate will be happy to go through this with you in more detail. Now taking a quick look at the Bureau's outlook for the northern rainfall onset issued on the 25th of July, and parts of Queensland have a 60 to 70% chance of an earlier than usual onset, while some small pockets of Western Queensland have a 60 to 70% chance of a later than usual onset. Now let's look at temperatures, and the difference from average here shows for maximum temperature increases of around 1 to 2 degrees for most of Queensland for the 2 weeks from the 30th of July to the 12th of August. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. For minimum temperature, we're also looking at warmer than average conditions across the state of up to a degree or so for that 2-week period. Now looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months, from August to October, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days and nights across Queensland. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year based on that 1981 to 2018 period. These long-range forecasts are influenced by several climate factors. So let's have a quick look at the latest climate driver update from the Bureau. And the El Niño Southern Oscillation is currently neutral, but we are on a La Niña watch at the moment due to signs that a La Niña event may form in the Pacific Ocean later this year. This does not guarantee that a La Niña will develop. 4 of the 7 climate models that the Bureau surveys are showing the possibility of La Niña conditions from October, and the remaining 3 are suggesting neutral conditions will continue. And I should emphasise that early signs of La Niña are most relevant to the climate of the tropical Pacific region, and that the long-range forecast for Australian rainfall and temperature that I've just discussed provides better guidance for local climate. With regards to the other climate drivers, the Indian Ocean Dipole, or the IOD, is currently neutral. 3 of the 5 climate models that the Bureau surveys are showing the possibility of negative IOD conditions from September. An IOD forecast skill is typically low at this time of year, beyond about 2 months ahead. And as you can see here, the model forecasts are still showing a very large spread of possible outcomes. Not much is happening with the Madden-Julian Oscillation right now, which is currently neutral and is expected to remain weak into early August. And the Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, is currently negative, which typically brings reduced rainfall to parts of southern Queensland at this time of year. But the SAM is expected to return to neutral in the next week. Finally, turning to the pasture growth outlook from long paddock for the 3 months from July to September. Not much happening for northern regions at this time of year, of course, but some of the southern regions are expected to see varying amounts of pasture growth in response to the expected rainfall in the coming months. For further information and more updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate. You can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacp.org.au. See you next month.